Los Angeles, the Troubadour. A night that should have been electric suddenly turned cold. A young assistant rushes toward the promoter. Linda Ronstadt has just walked out of the green room. Why? Not because of nerves, not because of ego, but because of him, a name she refused to share the stage with ever again. This is StarLoop News, and today we're pulling back the curtain on 7 music legends Linda Ronstadt secretly clashed with. Stories of betrayal, ego, and untold drama. Behind the scenes of rock and roll history, it started with Don Henley. In the early 70s, he wasn't yet a rock legend. He was Linda's drummer and backup singer. They had a strong bond, but when the Eagles soared to fame, Henley's ego took flight. By 1975, during a heated backstage argument at the Universal Amphitheater, he told her to stick to cover songs and leave the real songwriting to the artists. Linda didn't just walk away, she shut him out of her tour. Privately, she called him a climber who lost his soul. Then came a chaotic encounter with Jim Morrison. In 1968, at an after-party near the Whiskey A Go-Go, Morrison, drunk on absinthe and ego, pulled Linda on stage, tried to kiss her mid-performance, and collapsed into her mic stand. It was humiliating and unforgettable. Morrison later mocked her in interviews, calling her sweet but spineless. Linda would describe him as a brilliant wreck, a symbol of the toxic male rock culture she fought against her entire career. Not every feud was about ego. Some were ideological. In 1976, during a benefit concert for farm workers, Linda clashed with Neil Young. Both were passionate about justice, but Young dismissed her as too commercial and refused her input on politically charged songs. He took center stage and later said she wasn't built for protest. Linda, deeply hurt, never shared a bill with him again. In 1974, she considered a collaboration with Frank Zappa. Intrigued by his avant-garde style, she explored recording one of his songs. But things turned sour fast. Zappa criticized her voice as sanitized and accused her of turning his art into a jingle. He even stopped rehearsal mid-song to announce, "This is what happens when you hand real music to a pop singer." Linda walked out and never looked back. Privately, she called him brilliant, but brutal. The deepest wounds, though, came from within her circle. David Crosby had once been a close friend and collaborator, but by 1978, he had become nearly impossible to work with due to drug-fueled paranoia. During a recording session, he refused to adjust the vocal key for Linda and told her to adapt. After a public blow-up, he insulted her in Rolling Stone magazine, calling her career manufactured. Linda cut him off entirely and even banned his name from being mentioned by her band. Then came the new wave. At a Cleveland festival in 1979, Elvis Costello publicly mocked Linda's performance, calling it background music for brunch. Later that night, backstage, he hurled another insult and stormed off. To Linda, he symbolized a colder, more cynical kind of music. Clever, but cruel. Even seemingly perfect collaborations could fall apart. In 1982, she attempted to record a duet with Paul Simon, but rehearsals turned into lectures. His perfectionism took over. Interruptions, lyric changes, constant correction. Linda felt less like a partner and more like a student being scolded. The duet was never finished. She vowed never to work with him again. For decades, Linda Ronstadt stayed silent. No public feuds, no drama. But behind that silence were stories of standing her ground, resisting the system, and refusing to be shaped by the male-dominated machine of the music industry. This isn't about bitterness. It's about truth. Linda didn't just survive the chaos, she rose above it. And in doing so, she created not just unforgettable music, but a legacy of strength, grace, and unshakable integrity. If you enjoyed this inside look at music history, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, like the video, and ring the bell for more stories from the legends of the stage, only here on StarLoop News.